Hey guys, Nick here. Today we're going to go through conditional formatting. First I'll explain the concept a bit and then I'll walk you through two different examples. Essentially, conditional formatting is having Excel auto format for you cells if they meet a particular condition that you specify. So to put that into layman's terms, right? Let's say we're working with this data set over here and we specifically are looking at the sales columns, right? The sales dollar column. I'll show you how to use conditional formatting to highlight any of the cells that, let's say, are over $750. And then we'll take it a step further and we'll ask Excel to highlight any cells in the sales column that matches a particular category. So let's get started. First, we're gonna ask Excel to highlight these cells where they're over $750 in sales value, right? So to start off, conditional formatting is always found on the Home tab. It's over here to the middle, more towards the right here. To get started with conditional formatting, first you have to highlight the cells you want to be conditionally formatted. When we go down here and we're going to say new rule, right? Now we're going to choose this particular rule, but there's multiple rules you can choose from, right? You can have Excel color all these on a scale, say from a particular color for the lower end sales, and it scales all the way up to a different color for the higher end sales, so on and so forth. You can set up more complex rules where you don't necessarily match any of the predetermined rules that Excel offers up. But anyways, the rule we're going to use is the second one, where we want to format cells that only contain a particular value, right? So we're going to say only cells where the value is, we want, in our example, greater than, and we're going to type over here what that value is. We're going to point to this cell. We have it locked there, right? So we're going to say Excel for cell values greater than G5, which is $750. Now that we have the rule set up, when that rule triggers, what's the format? Let's say whenever that rule triggers, we want Excel to fill the cell with this green color, right? And then we can even say, not only do we want the cell to be filled with the green color, but then I want you to actually make the font of that cell bold, right? So you go over to font, you click bold, there you go. You can even go so far as to say mess with like the data type formatting. You can even add a border around, so on and so forth. It's up to you, but essentially you get to tell Excel how do you want to format the cells that meet the rule that we set up previously. Alright, so once you have your formatting set up however you like, what you have to do is click OK. So that hides the window and it gives you the preview of what the cell will look like if it matches this rule that we set up. So for cells in this range that have a value greater than the 750 located in G5, they will format like this. They will format with the green fill in the back and the bolded font. So when we hit OK, we should expect to see these big values, all the 4-digit values. They should automatically revert to this. 697 doesn't meet that criteria, so it should stay as is. Alright, so let's see, hit OK. So you see, with the simple rule, Excel auto formatted everything for us based on this criteria. We can even adjust this criteria. Let's make it 500, and Excel automatically includes now that 697 that wasn't in there. Let's say we want to be a bit more stringent. Only cell values that are over 1500 looks like there's really only 2 or 3 in this entire data set. So anything over 1500, we should see a lot less green and bolded font. You see that? That's conditional formatting right there. So we're going to take it a step further, right? Because we have the ability where in this example we looked at the actual value of this column to format this column. We can ask Excel to look at the value in another column and then format this main column we're looking at according to whatever is in the second column. So that's where our second example comes in. We want to tell Excel, whenever there is a miscellaneous category sale, I want you to highlight the sales value for it in, let's say, this blue color, right? So we're going to work through that now. But first, let's get rid of the conditional formatting that's currently in there. You can go to clear rules from the selected cells, or you can go to manage rules and then delete the rule you want deleted, right? Same thing, just different means to an end. So now to the second example. Whenever the miscellaneous category pops up, we want the sales value for those to be highlighted in this blue. So what we'll do now is we're going to still highlight the sales column, right? Because that's where we want the conditional formatting to take place. Now we're going to go over to new rule, and then we're going to say match only. Nope, not that. We want to go over to this more versatile rule where we type in we can type in a formula and basically create our rule, right? Since it doesn't fit any of these predetermined values. So we're going to say here, whenever the category, right? And it's important to make sure that you're not locked to that cell reference, right? Because you want the value to run alongside where we're formatting. So whenever this category value, which we're in our range, starts first at row 10, whenever this is equal to this miscellaneous category, right? And right now you do want to lock to the miscellaneous because it's always going to be, whenever it's equal to this piece doesn't move, right? So whenever the category matches this miscellaneous criteria, then we're going to say, then click on format. You want to format as such. We want the fill, or the highlight of the cell, to be that light blue. And let's also make the font bold, and then let's italicize it as well. Well, actually, it's only one or the other. Let's make the font bold. I'm not a huge fan of italicizing. So then we hit OK. So this is a preview of how the cell will be formatted when this rule is met. Now we click OK, and we should see off the bat this sales of 1684 definitely be highlighted, just like this preview. So let's see what happens. And there we go. Miscellaneous, miscellaneous, miscellaneous. So we have 3 miscellaneous. If we filter just for the miscellaneous, just to double check, there's only 3 of them, and they're all highlighted, and they're all formatted, excuse me, just as we set in our conditional formatting rules. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to use conditional formattings. Like always, hit the like and subscribe button. Share this video with your buddies that are starting to learn how to set up reports in Excel. And if you have any questions or anything that you need cleared up, just drop something in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll catch you guys on the next one.